Hi, I'm Gavin, and welcome back to the S.O.U.N.D Project. Today we have a 3-time guest on the podcast, Mr. Biz Morris. Good to see you, man.
No. Boop. Stop being weird, bro. Just, no. No.
Nope, let's not do that. How's it going?
It's going well.
No one's ever been on the podcast 3 times. How's it feel?
Man, feels so good. Mm-hmm. We got some viewers here live.
Live studio audience?
Live studio audience. It feels great. I would love to be back on for a 4th time too.
We'll see how this goes.
Okay, let's
first.
Right.
Last time you were on the podcast and we were filming a studio tour at your home studio that we had just completed.
Just finished.
And since then, what's happened?
Right after that studio tour, we decided we were going to move to Texas. And so we sold that house and moved to Texas. Amazing studio, custom treatment. And we put everything into it. Mm-hmm. We designed it. It was amazing. It actually probably was one of the best sounding rooms I've ever been in. And so I was like, I'm going to move to Texas. We're going to, we built it so that we could, pick it up, ship it on a truck to Texas. That's the way I knew that anywhere I wanted to go, this thing could go with me. Mm-hmm. We did some measurements and we found out that it was 6 inches too high and it's going to have to stay.
Actually, I didn't realize this. I mean, you told me that 6 inches too high, but then I remember at one point we raised it for acoustics.
Yeah,
reasons.
1 foot.
Yeah.
12 inches, yep.
You could have taken it with you.
I could have taken it with me.
Man.
So actually, if we think about this correctly, he's the reason why I can't be in Texas.
Yeah, but that gives you opportunity to build a new place.
Yes. So we're building a new place inside the house. We'll see how that goes. We're not going to do the full custom. Mm-hmm. We're going to test out some other stuff to be continued.
Yep.
And then maybe we'll build somewhere else on the property.
Yeah. But at least the studio here in Atlanta, at least you mixed hundreds and hundreds of records in there.
Yeah, no, I mixed one record, like a full, finished record. It was Forrest Frank and Jake. Never get used to this. Mixed that. At least the song is really good and it's doing well. but
Just the one song? That's it?
I mean, I'm sure I started stuff, but I know that I started and finished one song.
I will say, though, that having that studio tour on our channel, there's been a lot of people inspired by it.
Good, because
at least there's that.
I'm inspired by old pictures, too.
Yeah.
No, it's
what you used to have.
Yeah, and I was really excited. We're going to list the house. The new buyer was going to walk into an amazing mixing room, and they would have no idea what they would have, right? It was all wired for Atmos. I mean, we went all in.
Yeah.
All in.
Mm-hmm. I do remember.
All in. Mm-hmm. Custom drapes, all automated.
Mini split system built into the soffit trap, all the things.
I was like, dude, whoever the next mixer that's going to take over this house with the studio is going to love it. Mm-hmm. Nah, he's a realtor.
It's his home office.
It's his office.
Man, best sounding home office you could imagine.
Yeah. He has no idea.
It's okay. It might inspire him to get into music, and he won't be a realtor anymore, and he'll just take your job.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. He might mix more than one record.
He probably would. He might mix more than you did in there.
Yeah, but I am, the move to Texas is going well. The studio will be done soon. We're picking out fabrics right now. So by the time this podcast probably comes out, the studio will be done. Yeah. We're really looking forward to it.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
You excited about Texas?
Texas is good. It's a good change for more family time. I do have to come back and forth to Atlanta. Right now we're in Atlanta.
Yep. We're at Reach Records right now.
We're at Reach Records right now. And so I come back and forth. This trip, got to bring my daughter, hanging out with some friends.
Yep. Have dinner last night?
Got to have dinner last night. It's been good.
And your daughter and her friend
have just been playing.
And convinced me to get ice cream afterwards.
Since you don't like ice cream, they closed the deal.
It was really hard. They had to twist my arm quite a bit.
Yeah. So Texas is good. House almost done. Studio's almost done.
Okay. So when we were getting ready to do this podcast, we were like, this is the 3rd time. What topic are we going to talk about? And so we didn't know.
Yeah, we never have a plan. I think the last time, I don't think we had a plan either. And I think I like that. So yesterday.
Biz likes to not have a plan. I like to have a plan.
Yeah, it's because.
That's why we work well together.
Yeah. So I posted a thing on my Instagram and said, filming a podcast with Gavin from Haverstick Designs tomorrow. What questions do you have? Anything studio build, acoustical, or mixing?
Okay. And
so people have submitted questions. And I'm just going to go down the line, and we can take them. Some are for me and some are for you.
Okay.
Okay?
You go for it.
I'm going to do question number 1. And you're not going to know who did these.
You're not going to say?
No.
Okay.
Because they know who they are. How is Gavin so awesome and cool and funny all at the same time?
Actually, if I had a guess, I think I know who did this one.
No, but answer the question.
Should I out them?
Answer the question.
I don't have an answer for that. It's not even fully true. What was the question again?
How is Gavin so awesome and cool and funny all at the same time?
Can you read it again?
How is Gavin so awesome and cool and funny all at the same time?
I don't know. It's a natural thing. I don't have to.
You know who that is?
That's my niece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's biased.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, this is a really good question, actually. From Mike. You ready for it?
I am.
If he could build the most perfect studio, what would he do and how much and what speakers?
Man.
So if you could build any room, we'll start off with this.
Talking about a mix room?
Yeah, let's do a mixing room.
Okay.
If you could do a mixing room, first of all, what do you think, what speakers would you automatically go with? Because would you pick the speakers before you design the acoustics for those speakers?
So we get asked all the time, like what speakers that we would recommend.
I already know what speakers you're going to say.
No.
Let me tell you what speakers he's going to say.
No, well, no, listen. If I'm designing for someone else, I want them to pick their favorite speakers. I want them to go to a room and listen and try out a bunch of things and pick the one that's best for them. If it's for me personally...
It depends, because you've walked away from studios. I remember you called me and you're like, just heard these speakers in this room.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of blown away if it's tuned right, the room is right, the speakers are right.
Yeah. I mean, as far as designing the space, the first thing I look at would be the size of the room. Like if it's a mixed room, a lot of times mixed rooms end up getting to be smaller because they want a big live room, depending on the type of studio. But if it's a mixed room, I want it to have really nice dimensions to start with.
Like the best dimensions is like 3 feet by 2 feet by 30 feet, right?
If you're a mouse and you're mixing, yes. No, so you want to have dimensions that aren't divisible by the same number or each other. So you don't want to pick like 24 by 16 by 8. Something like that's going to sound terrible.
24 by what?
16 by 8.
That's the size of my studio, my new room.
Well, you should have called me first. No, but yeah, you want large dimensions. You want good ceiling height.
Is larger better?
If it's designed out properly. Like if it's larger, but it still has divisible by the same number dimensions, then it's not good. So you got to play that out. Having a large, like a tall ceiling height is really great too. I actually like to have the ceiling height to be around, if we can get 12 to 13 feet, it's nice.
I'm 15 feet. This is great. This is perfect. I'm sorry, I'm taking notes.
Wait, you're at 15?
Yeah.
In your new place?
Uh-huh.
It slopes though, right?
It goes, I think 12 to 15.
Okay. Do you want me to just say that the best mixed room is your one that you're building?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want you to say that your dream studio that you're building is the one that we're doing now.
Okay, let me answer the question. The question, I would say that like the 12 to 13 foot ceiling height is really nice in mixed rooms. Reason being is that typically the speakers and the listening position are right around 4 feet, right? Unless you're really short or really tall, but around 4 feet is where your listening position is. And if you have 12 to 13 foot ceiling height, that puts your ears right around that 1/3 to 38% point of the height of the room. We talk about that all the time with the length of the room. You want to be at the 38% point with respect to the length. Then if you can also do that with the height, then it ends up being better. That's why like small bedroom studios that have 8 foot ceiling heights are sometimes troublesome. usually the dimensions are pretty small, but also you're sitting right in the halfway point from the height of the room, and it causes cancellation and build up to be even greater. So
Interesting.
having a taller ceiling height, around 12 to 13 feet is where we usually sit, if we can get it. But a lot of people don't have that type of headroom. So
in your studio that you're building for yourself in this situation, would you use your own acoustic treatment? Flex 48, let's talk about that.
the Flex 48. Yeah, so Flex 48 from Acoustical Fulfillment helped design that.
Yeah.
And we got a patent for it.
Yep.
Would I use it? Yeah, I would. Depends on where I would put it. I might do like the back wall treatment with that because it's really good in like the 80 to 125 hertz range and would help with bass trapping for the axial modes, but then scatter sound, which you want on the back wall. So
That's
I'd probably
awesome.
use it. I'd probably use it.
So I guess you can't answer the speaker question because it's all relative to the person. What are some of your like top 5 speaker brands? Can you say that?
Yeah, I mean, the ones that show up the most in our studios, and so I have the most familiarity with them, are probably Focal, Genelec, PMC, ATC. What would be the 5th one? Barefoot, probably.
Really?
Yeah, it shows up quite a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Barefoot. I haven't seen many people using Barefoots these days. It's like PMC and Focal and Genelec. Yeah.
Other things I would look for, obviously, would be like location. Make sure it's not in a place that is going to disturb other people or they're going to disturb us, you know.
Are you big on, like, if someone's coming to you to build a studio from the ground up in their house, they don't have kids, would you still recommend isolation? Or are you mainly like, let's get the inside of the room sounding the best possible. I don't really care about outside the room unless the customer cares about it.
Yeah, it's if the customer doesn't care about isolation, I do like to have a conversation with them and say, okay, but that's your situation right now. Let's look 5 to 10 years in the future. Do you still think you'll be in this house? Do you think you'll have kids then, or do you think something's going to change? And so, because that even happened with Tyler Joseph when we did his studio. I told him that, hey, unless we rip out all the floors of the first level and put underlayment, you're going to hear people walking down the halls and things. And he didn't have kids at the time, but he was planning on it. And he's like, yeah, that hallway's like the main drag. I don't want, to hear that, but also I don't want to rip up all my floors, So it's just a trade-off, But yeah, I would try to plan for the future on the isolation front. But if they really don't care about isolation, it makes the project so much easier, more cost-effective, and it's going to go quicker.
The Crowder studio,
Yeah.
isolation wasn't a problem.
Yep.
And you got to spend most of the focus and money and time on the inside of the room.
Yeah.
And it came out really cool.
Yeah.
One thing I really appreciate, I think we've probably talked about this in episode 1 and 2, now we'll do it in 3, is how your rooms, they're not all the same looking, like similar. Like they're all unique. They all have a character. And a lot of these other studios I see are just very stale and boring. No shade to them because some of them sound good.
You're just trying to get on the podcast a 4th time, I see.
Yeah, you feel me?
Yeah.
You see what I'm doing?
Yeah. No.
But no, and I really appreciate. So in your studio that you would build, what would be the vibe?
The vibe of it. Yeah, people ask me a lot about like what studio that we've designed is like our favorites, Not. I mean, I like yours. But
The one we're building now.
the one you're building now, maybe top 20. Maybe. It's not done yet though, so we don't know. But a lot of times I really like the clean look of, like, I like Crowder's studio a lot. Studio 33.3. Like
That's a nice one.
That kind of white look is cool. But I usually trend more towards like gray, like black, gray colors.
You just did one not too long ago. It was the one in Nashville,
Electric feel.
and they did the brown.
They did brown, yeah.
Were you for that or against that?
I was for it because they were for it, honestly.
Yeah, but that's like a darker vibe.
It is, yeah.
Would you do that?
For myself, probably not.
Then gray,
want-
dark gray?
Not dark gray. Like
Oh,
lighter
light gray. Cool, got
Yeah.
it. I meant going darker. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
That's actually a really cool brown.
it is.
Yeah.
You gonna go with that with your new place?
I don't think Lindsay would like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I like what she likes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's look at some more questions.
All right, that sounds good.
Make sure that we answered. Oh, no. This is the big question, and everyone probably wants to know. So the studio you just described is fully custom, sound proof. It's going to be bigger. What do you think the budget for that would be?
Oh, the budget for the studio.
Like construction. I mean, I guess you have to give a pretty wide range because it depends
Yeah.
on where you are, location wise.
Yep.
But like, is this a $20,000?
If it depends on if the isolation is a big concern. If we're doing isolation and really nice acoustical treatment, well, let me start here. The range that we typically give people is that sometimes it can be between $300 to upwards of $700 a square foot or so. Depends on what you're doing. So low end of that scale is usually if isolation isn't super critical and you want it to sound good, but you don't want to go make it look like a museum or just some over the top look. And then the higher end is going to be if you really want a lot of isolation and you want it to look amazing and be very custom.
So let me pull out my calculator real fast.
Is that your room? Wait, what do you got there?
That's how much it is the math. It'll cost you about.
That's like billions of dollars.
That's how much it would cost.
No, that's not. It's not billions of dollars. It all depends on how much isolation you need and what you want it to look like.
But this is not a $5,000. Like when people think custom, because a lot of times people call and say, "Yo, I want to build a studio."
Yeah.
They really think that it's going to cost $10,000.
I mean, sometimes if you want isolation, sometimes the door is $5,000.
Right.
You know.
We were looking at doors for my space, and it was
Yeah.
like outrageous.
It can get expensive.
So people have to be realistic when they think of studio designing the proper way.
Right.
Is not cheap.
Yeah, it's not, and
It's not just the person designing it always. It's the materials to do it.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah, for sure. And the thing is with the budget side of things is that if you're worried about isolation, then you always want to put the money towards that at first, and maybe go a little bit less on the acoustical treatment because you can add that easily after the fact. You can't go back and isolate the room as easily. So.
Yeah, some of these studios I see, I'm like, woof, they had to drop a lot of money on that.
Yeah, that's true.
Who films all your videos? They look amazing.
Huh? Who would have done that question?
Trying to see.
Do you have any?
Well, let's do an audio question. One of these are for me, and I'll read it.
Hold on, I'll answer that though. Like More Than Media does our videos, and they do a phenomenal job.
That just costs them how much money for that job?
And sometimes they do some self-promotion by asking questions that will show up on a podcast.
Yeah. Someone said, do you use the Trinnov Nova as your interface? And how do you rate the converters on it? Do I use the Trinnov? So at the old studio that we just built, yes, the Trinnov was my interface. I used it for all my converters. I thought it sounded really good. I honestly didn't get to spend a lot of time with it.
One song.
Mixing one song. And so I can't wait to get it up and going again. Do I think I'll use the converters on it? I'm not sure. I don't know if I'll end up using them. I don't know what I'm doing. I have it coming to Texas with me. We'll see what happens.
It's going to be a great clip. You just saying, I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't. She's going to chop that up.
Yeah. That's going to happen. You don't know what you're doing. That's fine.
Only one song. Don't know what you're doing. Only one song. It's going to be a great loop. Yeah, so I don't know. To me, they sounded really good when we used it. We tested it out, and I love the Trinnov. I think Trinnov is a great. Are you seeing a lot of people put Trinnovs in the rooms?
Yeah, we promote it quite a bit because, I mean, you can do a ton with acoustical treatment and getting the room dialed in as best you can, and you want to do that. Like, you don't want the Trinnov to have to work really, really hard to try to compensate for things that are going on in your room. So the best scenario is like get your room dialed in really, really well, and then allow the Trinnov to do that extra 10% at the end to take it to the next level. So, I'm not sure what the opinion of other designers are of Trinnov and whether or not they enjoy recommending them, but for me, it's like better is better. If you can figure something out and treat the room really well, but then add that extra, dialing in the delay times and helping with EQ on a few things.
Nah, just the delay alone pays for itself.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these softwares out there, and like SonarWorks, they can do a lot, but the delay compensation on the Trinnov is incredible.
It is. Yep.
And they're rolling out like new updates. I think that right before I moved, They had a whole LFE update on the Trinnov, which
Yeah.
could do some cool stuff. So I can't wait to dive back in with it. But the Trinnov
It's awesome.
it's awesome. There's only been one room I haven't got the Trinnov to sound good in
Yeah.
because the acoustics are that good. Do you engage? When do you engage and disengage your folk house sub while mixing? This is another one. The folk house that I got, they were brand new. I don't think they even been out. They were out for a long time.
Yeah.
And so I got the foot switch. They came in, tuned it, gave me the foot switch. I didn't have enough time to play with the disengagement of the sub. Normally, I just leave the sub on when I'm mixing. I never turn it off. If I want a speakers without sub, I have other speakers I can go back and forth with. But I can't wait to play with the new features on the folk house.
Awesome.
This is for you, this next one.
Okay.
This is a good one. And this is when we're building a new room at the house, we're not going to do a bunch of custom, or if at all custom, right? We're going to do off the shelf probably, or just some
Pre-manufactured stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Is that considered custom?
So some of the panels you have are a little larger, that it's not like a stock item, but
Like you can't go to Sweetwater.
but it's not
and
something
buy.
that a contractor is building on site and doing that sort of thing.
So this is a good one. What are your suggestions for acoustic treatment for a home studio?
Okay.
You just touched a little bit with the ceiling height.
Yeah. Well, for treatments, the big thing is like you always got to look at what you're trying to accomplish. You know, I have some clients, like I'm working on one right now actually, that it's kind of a building like your studio here in Atlanta that you had.
He got the idea for me.
Probably. Actually, I think he might have mentioned it. But you know, his is going to be a drum room, but it's also his home office. And he's like, I'm not mixing Grammy records in here. It's like I just, it needs to sound good, but it doesn't need to be over the top, you know. And so in that case, we tailor our treatment package differently than if it was somebody who they're doing this for a living and they need it to translate as perfectly as possible, you know. And so and some of it also comes into play when we get inspiration shots from people, just like, hey, send us images of studios that you like, and very quickly we can tell whether or not they prefer custom over, you know, off the shelf. But then that's a conversation of like, hey, the off-the-shelf treatment's probably going to be more cost-effective. It's going to happen quicker, easier to install, but that does not look like all these photos you just sent us, and so you know there's a trade-off there.
But custom can be cost. I mean, if one person's handy, they can do custom.
Sure.
And save a lot of money.
They can. Well, yeah, a lot of people can build their own things, and you're not really sacrificing audio quality if you use the right materials, and because what you're paying for when it's pre-manufactured is the convenience and the labor of doing it for you, and it arrives in a crate and then you just put it up, you know.
Yeah.
Like we did at Tori's place, you know, like that was all pre-made panels from Acoustical Fulfillment, and we installed it and it was done in like a day and a half, versus like if a contractor's there, it might be 2-3 weeks to get something done.
Or longer.
Yeah, or longer. Could be.
4 weeks. Not mad.
But you don't even have a studio anymore.
So how would you address because if it's a home studio, bought this house, the ceilings probably are 8 or 9 feet.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
It can be.
Unless you just mix on the floor.
That's a new
solution.
Either sit, stand, desk, or lay on the floor. No, I'm not endorsing that.
Are you tired? Wow, we're boring.
We are boring. I will say though, you don't want to be down at the floor level either, because that's near a boundary, and your low end's going to be more enhanced.
We're here to break the boundaries, bro.
No, we don't want that.
Boundaries are meant to be broken.
Some aren't.
No, they're not. Everyone needs to have boundaries, stick to their boundaries, and that means not mixing on the floor.
Don't mix on the floor. No, I'd say that what you want to do first, like if it's a home studio and you're just getting started with acoustical treatment, first thing I would always recommend is hit first reflection points with some absorption panels, maybe diffusion on the back wall if you want to handle that first reflection point that way. But even if you just clean up your first reflection points, like it's night and day difference.
Question.
Okay.
Question. I heard this little trick to do to find the reflection points is to put a mirror up on the wall, and whenever you can see your speaker, a panel needs to go there. Debunk it.
No, that's true.
Dang it.
Wait, except you don't put it on the wall. You have like a friend hold it with their back to the wall, and they shuffle along the wall and you rotate in your chair, and anytime you see the speaker in it, that's where you put a little piece of painter's tape on the wall. Because it's like sound bounces around the room like billiard balls on a pool table, like angle of incidence equal to angle reflection. So if you see the visual reflection of the speaker, that's going to be a reflection point.
And then if I see, yeah, okay, great.
So it's real.
But then, wouldn't you just have panels everywhere? Because you're gonna.
Not everywhere. Not everywhere, just when you see the speakers. How big are your speakers and how small is your room?
See, that's what I'm saying. My speakers are probably too big for the room.
Next question. What's the best studio that you've mixed in? Doesn't have to be ours.
Oh, it's not yours.
Yeah, it wouldn't be.
It was mine in the backyard.
Oh, yeah.
I do regret that I didn't. I mean, when I say that's probably the best, the only thing I didn't like about that is, well, you know why I couldn't finish songs in that room?
Why?
It's because I was mixing with the window open.
I know.
And I kept forgetting. And once I realized to shut it,
Yeah.
that's when I mixed the record.
And that was a compromise. I think we talked about this in the studio tour of it, but it's like we really, in a mix room, we wouldn't want
Right.
those doors on the back there, but you wanted it for being able to open it and have your kids play in the yard and that whole thing. I think that worked out great. And that's another one of those things where you have to just look at compromises as they come and say like, hey, is this worth it? And for you, it was.
Yeah, it was until I remembered I have to shut this when I'm mixing. I can't just leave it open.
Shut the curtain. Yeah.
So with the curtains closed, I really did enjoy that room.
Mm-hmm.
Listening to music is very transparent. It was cozy feeling.
Yeah.
So when I think of a best sounding mixing room, I think, are the vibes correct?
Yeah.
There's a lot of rooms that could sound good, but the vibes are just terrible.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, get that out of here.
Here's a question. Like we were joking, saying you don't know anything, but the thing.
What?
The thing is.
Oh, is that how you talk about?
No,
that's good. Save that. She's gonna use that.
I want to say that lately, it's been really cool to see the stuff you've been doing for Forrest Frank.
Forrest Frank. Yeah.
I mean, like right now, I think his song is #1 worldwide.
It's crazy.
That you mixed.
Yeah, I don't know about #1 worldwide, but I'll take that.
It's not? I thought I saw that.
I don't know.
It's up there. At least it's up there.
I honestly don't know. Sometimes I have to like go ask like, how's it doing? Because I really don't know. Yeah, he's doing great, and yeah, the Lord is using him in ways that we don't even understand.
Yeah.
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 So thanks. Yeah.
It's awesome.
I mean, we're like doing mixes. Like he's like creating a song Monday, we mix it Tuesday, upload it Wednesday, out Friday. It's like crazy. It's just like doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But we got a good rhythm going, and yeah.
And you came up, actually, this is something that happened since the last time. You came up to Indiana for his concert.
First night of the tour.
First night of the tour.
Yeah, got to go on tour, jumped on the bus, worked on his album on the bus.
Yeah.
But his first show was with you. I remember pulling up to the arena and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's different.
There's going to be 20,000 people here tonight. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And I've done arena tours, but it was just special with
Yeah.
him, you know. I got to be there, mix No Longer Bound, which is his first Christian mainstream song. So it's like, oh, it's cool to be part of it. And yeah, it's great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What else are you working on right now?
A lot of his stuff. Finishing Lecrae's album. Jackie Hill Perry. She's doing an album, finishing that. There's a lot of, with Mix, we're doing a lot of songs. So it's about halfway through the year and we're already beating last year's goal. So it's cool. It's a lot of momentum and a lot of records getting done. The team is crushing it.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I know that we probably have mentioned it before, but talk a little bit about Mixed, like what's going on with it right now.
Yeah. Like as if no one knows about it.
Yeah. Because you're acting as if this is the third time on the podcast and everyone has watched all of our podcasts.
Well, everyone should watch all the podcasts.
We'll link them in the description.
So Mixed is a mixing and mastering company that I started a couple years ago with some friends. And the goal was to provide affordable mixes at a high quality, label quality. And yeah, so every year we're doing more and more songs and it's kind of crazy, but it's working. We get to provide the services to artists really for a fraction of the price. Sometimes I have to charge major label artists a big fee for
Yeah.
stuff, and this I get to cut the rate. So
Yeah.
it's fun.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
It seems like you've done a lot with like the website and the interface and like the flow, because you want it to be easy.
Yeah, so I created a dashboard so every artist can go upload their songs on their dashboard.
Yeah.
They upload the files, we mix them, we upload the record back to them. They get to give notes. So the reason why it costs a lot less is because we don't have to be involved the whole way. When they're ready to give notes, they can give notes, and we'll do the recall or the revision, and I don't have to call them to say, hey, how are you feeling about this? So it puts the power in their hands, which cuts the communication, which can cut the price.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
It's been cool to see it grow.
It's growing. Yeah, it's really fun.
I think we're out of questions.
No, we're not.
We're not? What do you got?
Vivi, ask the question. Zella, ask the question.
When were you inspired to take on your career?
Oh, wow.
Let's go. Zella asked it.
Okay.
When were you inspired to do this?
Yeah, so she asked I don't know if it was picked up by the microphones, but at what age was I inspired to do what I'm doing right now? And honestly, I didn't know that this was a career.
What is your career?
What's that?
What is your career?
I'm an acoustical consultant and podcaster.
That's right.
No, I didn't know that you could do acoustical consulting and like design studios and things. I didn't know that was a job. A lot of times when I talk to people about what I do for a living, they're like, that's a real thing, you know? So I didn't know that until between my junior and senior year of high school. Not high school, college. So I
Which is not that long ago, 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, right. No, man, I graduated college 24 years ago.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So I had a internship at Orlex Acoustics where I used to work before I started the business. And that was the start of like, oh, wow, this is a whole industry that I didn't know was available.
Because not just studios that acoustical consulting goes down.
Yeah, we do churches and performance halls and all sorts of things. Anywhere sound's produced, like we can help with that.
Or that needs to be contained or like.
Yeah. So, I'd probably say that I was around 20 years old, something like that, when I figured it out. That's a great question, Zella.
That's a really good question. Vivi?
Do you love your job?
Do I love my job? I do. I do love my job. I always tell people to find something that they're passionate about and do that for their work, because there's too many people that just work a job that they don't care about, and then or it's like super stressful and they just do it maybe because the money is good or what have you. But for me, it's like if you do something that you love to do, there's still stresses of work and things that you have to deal with, but at least you enjoy what you do. And that, I think that cascades down to your family, to your friends, everything else. And then there's seasons where things are more stressful than others, but as long as like the core of you like enjoys what you're doing, then I think that's important.
Yeah.
So
it's very important.
Yeah.
Because you can have a high-paying job and hate it, and you're gonna hate every single day. Mm-hmm. But I know people who make a little bit of money and do what they love, and their life is amazing. Mm-hmm. So it's great.
All about perspectives.
Yeah.
Good questions. Well done.
Yeah.
Is spatial audio here to stay? Which
Wow.
do you like more? Stereo or spatial?
That's a loaded question. What do I enjoy more? I enjoy Atmos more because I have the proper space to listen to it in. You know, so I have the studio that's fully adapted for it. At home, it's going to be for it. So I enjoy that way more than stereo if I have the proper space. On my headphones, I'm cool with stereo. In my car, I'm cool with stereo. Is it here to stay? Yeah, it's here to stay. Yeah. I think the DSPs are going to push it, and they're forcing it. You got Cadillac coming out with the cars, within the cars. You got Toyota coming out within the cars. So as soon as all these Rivian's coming out, they already has it, I think. So it's all these cars manufacturers are putting it in their cars. It's here to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that it is, because we're designing a lot of them.
Are you designing a lot of that?
Mm-hmm.
So like if you're designing a studio from the ground up, what percentage of the studios are actually putting it in?
Putting it in from the start or planning for it?
Planning for it, that's fine.
Planning for it, I would say of the mixed rooms that we're designing, I would say 60 to 70% are doing it or planning for
They're
it.
wiring for it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's pretty common.
How many of them out of the 60 and 70%, what's the percentage of putting speakers in there?
Out of those, I would say 70%. Like a lot of them are people are pretty committed to doing it.
Format, yeah. I don't think that's going anywhere. DSPs are incentivizing artists to do it, which I think is great because it does cost more. Unless you go to getmix.com, that will save you a lot of money. But I think artists have to start doing it. They're going to have to. I think what's going to happen is you have to upload the Atmos to even get your song on the platform.
Wow.
Which would be crazy.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, are we done now? Or we keep going?
Let's sit in silence.
We do have a flight a little later today that we need to hit. And we have some other things to film. I think we're going to wrap it up.
No, she has a question.
Oh, Ava's got a question. All right. What's our spirit
What does that
animals?
even mean? Spirit animal. I've never thought about a spirit animal. What animal speaks to me? Scorpions.
Scorpions?
No, I have no idea. I've never thought of that. Ever.
Mine, a koala?
Oh.
No? No, not koala.
What would you be?
Probably a sloth.
And just like that, it's a wrap.
Yeah, I need to slow down more. And also, it's part of my gamer tag on Call of Duty.
You play Call of Duty?
We play Call of Duty, yeah. Well, I appreciate you being on the podcast for the third time, and maybe we'll have you back for the fourth.
All right.
That's been another episode of The Sound Project. Thanks for being a part of it. If you'd like to see Biz on a fourth episode, comment that below, and we'll see you next week.